Christopher Columbus,
Christopher Columbus,
a man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass.
Today, Columbus Day, it's a quest for Jerusalem. We're going to talk with Carol Delaney, a scholar who's focused on the life and motivations of Columbus. Received her doctorate in cultural anthropology from the University of Chicago, master's from Harvard Divinity School, graduate of Boston University, emerita professor at Stanford University, and a research scholar at Brown. I've always had a difficulty understanding how he put together a coming end of the world with a robust enterprise of, wanting to collect this gold, wanting to take Jerusalem. A lot of people thinking that the end is right around the corner, they'll go back and they'll watch Monday Night Football or something.
One of the things we can think about is what happened at the turn of this millennium. A lot of people thought the rapture was going to happen, right, putting away food and everything, or some people didn't even do that, and yet they went on with their lives too.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably very similar in a way, and he didn't think it was going to happen immediately. And the first calculation was 1,759 years.
Oh, okay.
The second calculation, however, was only 155. And that's when he became much more urgent about trying to get Isabella and Ferdinand to get on with the crusade.
He sees himself as a divinely anointed figure helping to bring this about?
I don't know if he would have considered himself divinely anointed, but maybe that he felt a call.
Okay.
In some way. Las Casas, who wrote about him, said that he thought Columbus himself thought that God had called him or selected him or ordained this mission to somehow help recuperate the Holy Sepulchre and the conquest of Jerusalem.
How did he end up in the employ of Ferdinand and Isabella, being from Genoa?
He had been on some kind of voyage, and it got shipwrecked, and he ended up in Portugal. And he stayed in Portugal. He married his wife in Portugal. He went down the African coast. He went up north as far as Iceland on various voyages. And then he finally went to a meeting with the King of Portugal, trying to persuade him to finance the voyage west across the ocean. He rejected Columbus, and so Columbus then left Portugal and went to Spain, stayed at the monastery of La Rábida with a Franciscan monastery. One of the monks arranged for his meeting with Isabella. And even the commission that Isabella got together, they rejected it as well. Twice the commission rejected it in Spain, and Columbus was on his way to France to try and talk to the King of France. Isabella heard about this, and she sent somebody to go catch him on the road and bring him back. And that's when it happened, and she went against the commission. She just decided that this was something worth doing, and I guess one of her advisors, who was a friend of Columbus, his name was Santiago, is the one who said, this is not going to take much money. You ought to do this. It might really bring great riches to you.
How did she understand the apocalyptic dimension to this?
She was certainly involved in the Reconquista in Spain itself to take all the formerly Spanish lands back from the Muslims. That Reconquista was only the first stage that was the bigger reconquest of Jerusalem.